go.
Hello everyone, my name is George Jimenez, and my Mesozoic reptile that I decided to choose is a Rhamphorhynchus, which means beak snout, part of the late Jurassic, and this is for Age of the Dinosaurs class. Took this from my own little book I had. Okay, so what did it eat? So due to its sharp nose and needle-like teeth, it was presumed that it would skim along the surface of the water and attempt to consume any fish nearby, such as this Aspidorhynchus, but it didn't always work out for that specific type of fish because it was so big that it would counter the Rhamphorhynchus when it would try to get it, and in turn the Rhamphorhynchus would be eaten when it was trying to eat the said fish. It was a little unfortunate for the Rhamphorhynchus, but that's how it goes. Here I have it in the diagram right here, a fossil containing both Rhamphorhynchus and Aspidorhynchus right here. You can see the fish. Caught on the Rhamphorhynchus is roughly around his neck, so it more than likely killed the Rhamphorhynchus, and both of them perished in the same sort of fashion. Next slide. Here's a cool photo from Walking with Dinosaurs, 1999, from BBC. Here you can see the beak snout. You can really see how sharp it was and how sharp those teeth were. It would skim along the water, and it would, if there was a fish right there, it would get it clean if it was on the surface. Such as in this photo. Here you can see it come almost gliding on the surface so as to not get its wing membrane wet. See, it was a good place to get shoreline fish, but that also meant that it was susceptible to any fish that was close enough to get the Rhamphorhynchus. Alrighty, how did it live? It lived its life like most of our modern beach type birds, quite similar to that of a seagull because of how they make their homes in coastal areas. So this is another photo from the BBC documentary Walking with Dinosaurs, but it shows a pretty accurate representation of how Rhamphorhynchus lived in its day-to-day habitat in these coastal areas. It's probably like a cove somewhere. It was found primarily in Europe. So this would be like a Europe Bay right here. It might be a little blurry, but there's one right there, one little Rhamphorhynchus flapping its little wings, and one right there in the distance is flying, doing its own thing. They probably make nests and colonize with each other with its nearby Rhamphorhynchuses. Rhamphorhynchi. What other Mesozoic non-reptiles did your reptile live amongst? Rhamphorhynchus lived alongside Archaeopteryx, and they were both found in Europe and also found in the middle to late Jurassic. So they were right next to each other. Archaeopteryx is probably one of the most important transitional animals to have been found to help further the idea of evolution, such as this little text right here. Archaeopteryx was found in the year that Charles Darwin published his On the Origin of Species and provided powerful support for the theory of evolution by natural selection, due to it being both a dinosaur and a bird, even though it's still technically a dinosaur. But a dinosaur transitioning into our most commonly known birds we call aves. How large did your reptile get? Rhamphorhynchus had a total length of about 4 feet, with its arms stretched wide, so about like not this big. I'm a pretty tall guy, but if its arms were like this, as in the diagram right here. It weighed roughly 3 to 4 pounds and had a height of 1 to 2 feet, so as tall of a corgi. If you can imagine a corgi, you can imagine the size of a Rhamphorhynchus. It gets a little wonky with the exact height of it, but you can guess around here, you're in the right ballpark. I would definitely give that a pass. What traits allowed your reptile to be as successful as it was for as long as it was? Some traits that allowed my reptile to be successful would definitely have to go to its size, agility, and its unique beak. So, the pros of being pretty small is that you were fast as all heck. It was so fast that it would catch fish that would leap up. Whoa! Here in this little diagram here, we got some we have a Rhamphorhynchus catching a squid mid-hop, which just goes to show how fast it was catching something mid-air. And as I said for the last little portion here, its unique beak. This thing was super spiny and sharp, and anything that was caught in it was immediately stabbed and skewered onto that teeth, and it was more than likely you were Rhamphorhynchus lunch. If you were small enough to see, there's nothing that's not going to eat like anything bigger than it. It's probably going to eat only what's about the size of its beak. And the portion that is my favorite. Anything else that interests you or will interest the class regarding your reptile? One thing that really fascinates me about Rhamphorhynchus is its needle-like nose and its diamond-shaped tail at the end. Because there are no more Rhamphorhynchus alive, we can only hypothesize on the true purpose of its tail. Here's a little diagram of its diamond-shaped tail and it being compared to that of a diamond-shaped tail right here of a hummingbird. We have no idea what it could have been used for. I know that there's usually, what's the point of having a tail if it's gonna make you slower? So it could have been for finding another mate or, the other sex, that type of deal. But I know Tori's gonna ask what it's used for, and we don't know. We can only hypothesize based on what we have currently related to that Rhamphorhynchus. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.